Evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Casper here with a crypto update. Yes, I know crypto. Again, most of, I think at least most of you people that are following me is not into crypto. I think I did a poll like a month ago, and pretty, unanimously, people didn't, were not into crypto. But again, I will still do crypto videos from time to time because I am. Um, when the setup is absolutely perfect, I will definitely get into some crypto setups and try to take advantage of a little bit of a move to the upside. So again, I haven't taken many. I might have taken like I don't know, 10 long-term trades. The best one by far was 2020 to 2021. Got in at 10K Bitcoin, got out at 55. Pretty decent chunk there. That is by far my best trade ever. Low size, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So we will do a crypto update here because it's get a lot of talking, a lot of talk at the moment. And yeah, let's see how it is. It's again, Bitcoin still, long term okay. It definitely took a big spill here, but we are looking into that. And then there are some others that looks really, really bad. There's no really great setup. Maybe there is. I will show you. I will show you my opinions. Guys, Bitcoin here, again, we will have the long-term chart here again. This is roughly 5 years in the making. These two highs over there. By the way, this, I want to show you again. This was my entry back in the day, roughly 10K here, breakout backtest rally, got out at 55, peaked at 66. This was in my early days, so maybe it was more luck than not, but hey, it was a good trade. And then again, I was, saying this is it. I'm gonna wait for it to come way down. Got really, I got a lot of FOMO after that triple bottom kind of thing going on there, and we actually rallied all the way and broke out of the recent high. I had a lot of FOMO. I didn't get in, luckily, because that was basically the top. And I remember what was pushing it that high was was it the futures Bitcoin or the spot price Bitcoin? Someone please comment on that. And ever since we actually came down really, really far, and of course here we are again. So um, yeah, let's look at Bitcoin at this moment in time actually, because this was the long pause, 2020, nothing, high volume, mega puke, and we snapped back, made a high low, boom, 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 breakout, retest, rally, right? So, and ever since, we have been our roughly 91K, been saying that for a long time. That is, excuse me, that is the level to look for the downside move. And you can see we had a top here. This was also a bit of a head and shoulders, very, that is, I even called that when we started to puke here. Be careful. And that was a false breakdown. Boom, straight back in, rally, double top, and then we had the big one here. Two things, again, we broke the neckline there, boom, getting puked, but also we had that triangle formation. If that had broken to the upside, by the way, like anything above, let's call it like 100K, oh boy, that would have been an amazing entry. Amazing because you're breaking the triangle. The long-term resistance is here, you're getting back above, again, 100K plus, cool. That was not the case. We were actually going down. And where do we have support at this moment here for the Bitcoin? The beautiful Bitcoin. Again, this is not a parallel. I like parallels more because they are more correct, you can say. But this is not a parallel. It is bouncing here and there, and we are getting close to it here. So I'm saying that we ought to hold that lower trend line. That is actually really important to maintain the uptrend. So we have support here at roughly, let's call it, again, depending on how we get there, 76K, 79, depending. We are now here at roughly 80, 85, excuse me. Well, um, but that is, what we need to hold. Getting a lot of buyers here on, yesterday we had that mega candle there. actually, we saw a lot of buying into the end of day Friday. Retest, boom, retest, guys. That is what we're going to see here, roughly at the 91K. How will it perform? We shall definitely see. But yeah, the uptrend overall is still intact. I mean, there's nothing really. If you look at the uptrend alone, it's quite good. This again is the first kind of topping pattern that we have seen, because until then, it has been basically sideways range breakout. This a little bit iffy. Then we had that whole consolidation period. We rallied higher, and this is probably the first kind of topping pattern that we have seen, or reversal pattern, you can say. So again here, do I believe that we're going to go straight through here? No, I actually don't. But again, we could see double bottom, right? And then we have the chance. If not, anything below here, again, that's not where, the Bitcoin bulls want to be. So at this moment, huge breakdown of 91K. We rallied, or we puked down to like 78K. So yeah, that's a huge drop, by the way. And we do have a lot of short-term momentum pushing down here. You can see here that triangle was Monday, mid-January, and it broke down, roughly late February. So you're talking roughly, 40 days. And I'm sure if we go to the 6 hourly, we might go down one more, the Bollinger Band, and then we want to have the momentum. Yeah, it's not the best, what I call the power node, but definitely you're squeezing here. Momentum, the 50, the 100, 200 there was just sitting very close to that triangle. Either way, it was going to break. It, had a lot of momentum. So again, here it's pushing down now, and it needs to overcome all that stuff, actually. Just noted here on the 6 hourly, I think there is a bottoming pattern going on. Again, this is 6 hourly, very short term, so it is what it is. So let's see how high it can go here, really. So measured move all the way up to there. If it does, yeah, maybe not. Let's see, because the measured move is a tad high. I would have preferred it to be, maybe not. We shall watch it there, actually, how that performs. But momentum is definitely pushing down on the 6 hourly, and it needs to overcome that. And that can take some time, a lot of time, actually. So good. On to the smaller coins that we have been following, recommended by you, some of them. This is Algo. And Algo actually looked really, really good. Again, look at the squeezes we have had, and roughly then boom, all the way up to that. Over here again, pounding. And we have it there, right? That is the bottoming. That's the inverted head and shoulders. So overall, it's still an okay outlook, since we are, we had a huge rally. By the way, this angle and no selling, that is short covering, by the way. In my opinion, when you see that short covering, you can go and look at the Alibaba chart as well. That is also short covering. Again, that's my view on things, because you're barely having any, deeper pullbacks. So peak there, you have the first, you can see there, we're now making lower highs and lower lows. So again, here, if we want to complete that, again, potentially we could see, somewhere around, again, depending, 0.16, but we are flagging. It's a large flag, by the way. Ideally, when you have this kind of pull, you would want to have like that kind of flag, right? Roughly, this is a very broad flag. And so is it a flag? I mean, you could argue that, but still, that is a flag still, from how we should look at it. But again, the size, the width, the length compared to the pole, yeah, I mean, that can be argued until infinity. So we are back below the neckline here, not ideal. If we can break here and rally and get above roughly 0.26, that is good. Then we're going to see roughly 0.36 here before we see any major, bigger resistances along the way. But again, we are still flagging here. So again, support, resistance until proven otherwise. Dart here hasn't really been performing, it's done great, ever since we had that pump. But compared to others, not so much. A little bit of a weird chart here, where we are again breaking their rally, coming down, breaking again, rally. So again, you have this, if we were to do it 100% correctly here, if we take the highs from that high there to there to there, again, you can clearly see that, roughly, let's call it like 11, almost $12 is resistance. So again, here, again, is it a bull flag when you have, no, but we will call it a bull flag just so people, know the terminology. I like to call it sometimes a bullish channel as well. Again, the flag here and yeah, again, I could talk about that for a long time. So a break up from that, very bullish, of course. Again, you're breaking a channel here. We have at least, I think, two impulses here. You have the first, the second. Again, if we are to come down to here, you can, again, if you're aggressive, you start to buy around here 3.7, or you wait to see, is there support? Yep, good. Then we'll go long at roughly 4.3. So again, each to its own. But that is how it looks. And obviously, well, if you drop below roughly here, 3.6, 3.5, it is not looking good by any means for the dot. Ethereum, again, also a coin that I bought in over here in July, has underperformed heavily. We haven't even been taking out the November 2021 highs over here. Reasons, I have no clue why, but definitely that break. Again, I have two bearish channels here or bear flags here, depending on how you are to construct it. You can see they're a bit different, but nonetheless, nonetheless, that candle there is very, very dangerous. And until proven otherwise, extremely bearish for Ethereum, extremely, extremely bearish. And I also have a horizontal line here. You can see there if we are to, again, this is, if we were to put, I mean, that candle there, yikes. I mean, you don't want to be in Ethereum. The only way, in my opinion, to save it here is to hold 2,000, roughly 200 here, to be exact, 2,175. You can see here that is the level that the bulls want to hold. It's already bad. But if they lose that, we are, in my opinion, we could see triangle low here at roughly almost 900, right at that point there. So it very, very badly weakly candle. We need to hold here. We need to regain, I will say we need to regain roughly 2,800 to really start to say, it might be okay. Do we have a short-term channel here of some degree that we can actually start to dive into? I will say something like that, right? This is quickly drawn, guys. So don't, I will say something like that. It's probably like, we might be onto something here if we start to, break that one at some point in time. Entry, stop there. But that is, again, very bad weekly candle. But again, do I believe we ought to rally here? At least, for like a few weeks, I actually do. We have come down so far. Everyone is bearish. You have high volume coming in here at the recent, breakdown here. I see a retest of roughly 2,600 in the near future for Ethereum. FET here, FET. I bought that. Remember, I bought that one right over here and got stopped out very quickly. Good thing to get out actually, right? Because we had the uptrend here and we broke, boop, boop. So it was quite an easy way to get out. Again, stop loss wise, it was very, very easy to set. Where are we now? Yeah, obviously we broke down here, flagging to some degree here. You can see that little green channel there. So I'm expecting you also have a little bit of support down here, by the way. If we do, not the, anyway, never mind. Roughly 0.5, I think we will have a bottom to some degree. And we will start to rally a little bit. Overall, we're still, in a downward channel. So again, at some point in time, if this perfect symmetry, if there will be like perfect symmetry, we could actually be looking for a long, but not right now. But again, we could be having a bounce here. But again, the long-term breakouts, it's not at least the way I do things, it's not around, around here. So again, if you have these long time, this is 2 years breakdown, lesson learned. For me, at least, I should have done that many times as well. You're getting out. Speaking of getting out, the graph GRT, we had that very, that's a bearish channel, a bear flag, bearish channel, whatever. We broke here, we broke out, we back tested, rally, cool. We made that high. We can then take that trend line, coming down, breaking, boop, and then here we are. So on the long-term entry at this moment in time here is if we recapture and break the green. That is, 0.3. If we can, it's a big if we can do that, very, very bullish. However, at this moment here, on the weekly, that, guys, is not good by any means. We have lost the lower trend line of the channel there. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, 5. We broke on the 5th in this one here, depending on how if that could be 1, maybe, I don't know. So we do have the last little, cliff-hanging support here at 0.113, and it looks bad now. Yes, breakdown, retest, resumption, but anything below, especially let's take the breakout low here at 0.10. No, the graph or whatever it is, your GRT is looking even more grim. So let's see how it performs. Just gonna check there's something there. I just saw that. Okay, well, it's gonna do that. Maybe a little bit of a hidden trend line there, the green one, the lower green. It's going to be funny to see how it performs here at 0.08. Anyway, that was just one that I just recognized there on, when I looked at it. So chain link, you can see the same kind of bearish channel here, or bearish flag. It hasn't broken down yet. So again, it's not all that bad. But again, this is, definitely not the best kind of look here. We are stuck right now in that little bull flag. And in order to become bullish, we need to break the upper. Until then, we really have no business being in link. It looks like to me want to break down here if everything else goes down as well. This one will definitely also break down here at roughly $12 and go to like 4.5. Well, let's call it $5 here. Major high there, boom, low there. So that is probably what we're going to see. And if we get to there again, if you're want to buy the big, where everyone is screaming crypto is going to zero, that is your cue. NIM also looking a little bit grim here. We had the beautiful, again, that right there, to me, I'm always like, that is interesting. The only downside to such a setup here is the false breakout there. So we had everything that we were looking for. We broke to the upside. We couldn't hold. And then what happens after a breakout, false breakout? You often visit the other side of our formation. In this case, that pennant there. So false breakout, we hit it here. We cut straight through, and now we're just, idling here below. Right now, there's nothing for me to really be anything excited about. So until then, it's not worth even looking at. I look at the crypto charts on the weekly as a default, by the way. So Ocean, yeah. Ocean here, you can see the uptrend again, roughly that's 2 years almost. Yeah, that is 2 years actually. We have 2 on top there. We have 2 on the low side here. Again, beautiful long entry there, by the way. Look at that, right? Breaking out, rallying. That's really good. Measured move. Did we hit it? Just to play around with the measured move. I say no more. That was perfect. I wish I saw that. Anyway, so we broke down here. We were starting to back test to some degree. We got a little bit inside, and then finally rolling over. And we have even, if I were to do this not too sloppy here, broken the lower here, right? Breaking down from that, even taking out the last low. Before we go all bearish here, I will say if we are going to come back in and get above 0.35, that is a very bullish view, in my opinion, if we can do that. It's a big if. Right now, it's very bearish. But if that's the case, if you, over the next, let's call it 1 month here, can start to get above that 0.35, that could be a cue to go long and have your stop below the blue here, with the expectations of a massive rally because of that mega false breakdown. again, just playing with what could be. But for now, that candle is bad. Do we retest here? I actually do believe so. And that's why, if that's a false breakdown, the retest all of a sudden comes, very bullish. But not right now, of course. Is that a topping pattern? Yeah, yes and no, because I mean, this is basically the lows of the chart. So I don't know. Let me know, guys, what you think. Is that a topping pattern after only 2 years of price action? And we are, I don't know. Let me know what you think, by the way. Let me know. Solana here actually had a very it's I wouldn't say it's one of the better ones, because it's definitely grim after it lost, roughly that 170K there. We had the flag here. That was good. Breakout, the retest, yada yada. Mega candle, boom. And then we just peaked above the all-time high and have actually come down ever since. And the break back into the bull flag was definitely not a good thing to see. Roughly the lowest point was 170. Where are we going now? In my opinion, somewhere around here, roughly 112, maybe a little bit lower. That is most likely where we're going to see this one here. And again, that uptrend there needs to hold, right? That is, of course, clear as day. And then they have the horizontal here, the lowest point of the bull flag, also as support. So again, bearish here in the very, very short term, but there will be some support coming in here, anywhere between, if we are to really go low, 100 to like 110, 112. We should see some buying coming in. And here we have the two that is, again, by far, in my opinion, the best setups that there is, XLM and XRP. If I were to choose between which one is the best, XLM is still looking pretty darn good. 3 on top here, right? Boom, to the tick. We broke out from that bad boy there. Same thing over here. You had the break, right? You had the break there. We rallied. And now we're flagging here. And to me, this is still a flag in my book. Getting a little bit extended, but still a perfectly normal flag. Go to the daily here. You can see here we do have a little bit of a smaller wake-up line-ish. Again, if we can start to break that, you can even see here, now that I look at it, this is the first big swing low, the second puke, and you can actually see here that we did undercut the second. So in theory, you have all 3 waves complete, in theory. So XLM here could actually start to rally quite a bit. Again, looks very different compared to the others. So I will say anything above 0.32 is a long entry in my book here for the XLM. The big target will be the upper of the flag. That's the first target there, 0.42. We're probably going to pull back, and then we will see what happens. But it is still long-term, short-term, a chart that looks, very compelling to the long side, really. So yeah, and of course, anything above the upper, if we break the upper there at 0.65, boom. I mean, we could see $10 really. But again, if everything else is failing, why should this one, have all that upside? I don't know. XRP is also one of the best setups that there were at the time. To me, this is, what I'm looking for. The power node, boom, boom, boom. There it is. So we broke the upside and we got above 0.66. Heavy rally, triangle high hit to perfection, boom, and we have come off ever since. Triangle high, very often a good place to take profits. Yes, sometimes you will overshoot a bit more, but you often come back to test that anyways, so you can go long again. So you're not really losing anything other than, gaining some time where the capital that you made here could be going into something else meanwhile. But compared to the XLM, is this a topping pattern? Absolutely. There's a good chance that that is a topping pattern. Boom, boom, and then there, right? So you see the measured move gives me 1.13. And I do think if we get down to there, we might even see, a little bit of overperformance down to like $1 here. There's the bigger, longer breakout line there, the horizontal stuff. So we shall see how it reacts here. But again, we need to have like a daily close below like 1.95 before that to occur. So yeah, we will definitely see how that is. Um, that's all, guys, that I have. Again, I think XLM by far the best looking crypto that we have in this, little selection. XRP, if this isn't a topping pattern or it fails it, still very strong. We have so much momentum being built there. That's a short squeeze, by the way. And momentum there is, again, we're actually below the short-term, mid-term momentum. So yeah, excellent, by far the best. But of course, if Bitcoin, let's say, starts to puke down to maybe, 64K, I don't think any cryptos will do well. If Bitcoin sneezes, everything else pukes more or less. So that is my take, guys, on crypto. It needs to regain very, very quickly here, as we just looked at, to have a chance that all these big breakdowns are false breakdowns. Until that's the case, we are not having the best outlook at this moment in time. So have a great day, guys. Cheers. Bye.